Welcome, Meisters. Part two of the probable cause. Doing part two due to the fact that Marv was at work today and she couldn't be on very long, so we decided to continue it this time and we invited Randy on.
Hey everyone,
How's it going, Randy?
doing good.
And if Marv's being awful quiet, guys, she tweaked a muscle or something in her back and stretching. I told her, I said, see what happens when we get old? Nice to see everybody. Let's go to the top and see who we got in the chat, guys. All right, we got Vanessa. Fired up, Vanessa. Queen Oasin. Nice to see you. Jacqueline, Randy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Star Quilt, Andrea. I went over and checked my mail again, Andrea, and it is not in my mailbox. So I'm calling the post office as soon as we're done with this live.
Raise some hell.
Yep. We got Star Quilt, Honeybee, Cincy Wackadoodle. What's up, Pam? Nice to see you. Olivia, Jill, Carol, Renee. What's up, girl? Raggedy Susan, JM, Jacqueline Howie, Karen, Sierra, me, of course. What's up, Danger Dave? Stacy, nice to see you. Lori Ellen, Nadia. Let's see. We got Charlotte Dean, Stephen Hipkiss, Carol Durant, Jackie Douglas, Shortica, Christy Lee, Lynn, Carol Durant, Copper Horse, Jan Brubaker, Melissa. Nice to see you guys. Well, I just named off everybody.
Dave, 12 cut.
What's up, 12 cut? Bogey, what's going on?
Yeah, I had a wild day, all right.
Yep.
It's working.
Been a crazy one already today. I didn't expect them to release the probable cause today, but
No.
you know,
Yeah,
we got to be wrong sometimes. Huh?
My phone's been going off all day.
Yeah. So is mine. So let's dig into this, guys.
What?
Let's dig into it.
Gloria, how are ya? Olivia 2's here.
Yep.
Jill's here. A couple more people jumping in. I'm going to try not to move a whole lot.
Cindergal, I unblocked you, so I unblocked Cindergal. From my
So
channel.
shall we dig in, or what are we going to do here?
Well, I already read the stuff earlier on video.
Yes.
There were 3 things I was correct ever since the beginning of this case.
What's
Go ahead.
1, that the murder was done and over with by 2:30.
You mean 3:30?
No, 2:30. It was done by 2:30. He was on the road on 300 heading back to his car from the
Yeah,
that's right.
at 2:40 something. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
And he didn't walk back to the trail. So
No.
3 things. He had everything done by 2:30. He walked from the cemetery back to his car on 300.
And remember when they were talking about early in the investigation that there was rumor about bullet shells at the crime scene,
Mm-hmm.
and no one knew for sure. Well, there's our proof that. I mean, a lot of people saying the probable cause is weak, but you guys got to understand, they're not going to tell you information that's automatically going to make him look guilty. He reported himself being on the bridge, and then they find a match with his bullet, with his gun and everything. I mean, that's enough probable cause to get an arrest warrant.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. What the information I want to see is in the discovery, even though we probably won't see or hear none of that for another year or two, unless he decides to go to speedy trial.
Okay, so Randy, I have a question.
Yeah.
In here it says approximately 350 feet west of Freedom Bridge was a former railroad overpass over Old State Road
25. Okay.
What are they talking about there?
You know, when we park in the parking lot, in the free parking lot,
Yes.
and we go down to where that first board.
Oh, that overpass.
Yeah.
We go under that thing.
Yeah, we
That's-
go under that.
Okay.
That's where he's talking about. And
Now I
plus,
remember.
the other thing, I was correct because he did have bloody clothes and muddy shoes, and that was the other thing I started a long time ago.
Yeah. So in here it was kind of interesting because we were always told that Kelsey dropped them off at 1:35. They're saying they weren't dropped off until 1:49, which makes the time period even shorter of them being there.
Yeah.
And then,
as
well,
far
the
Oh,
other
go
thing
ahead.
is, he sat at the bench where we tell
At the 501 or the 505
he sat
split.
at that bench.
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's where we figured he sat.
Yep,
And
that's where I was
remember
right.
we talked about a burner phone?
Yeah,
Remember they said they couldn't track whatever that thing is on a phone? Well, if you don't have a phone registered in your name, it's a burner phone, you're not going to be able to track that IMEI number at all to see who it belongs to.
Zendaya, I have the picture. I'll put it up here in a minute.
Oh, you mean the first picture that she took?
Libby's
Facing south end?
picture
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first picture she took? Yeah.
showing there was nobody down the south end.
No.
There was
So
none.
the second thing that caught my eye is a video from victim 2's phone, which we know is Libby, shows that at 2:13 p.m., victim 1 and victim 2 encountered a male subject in the southeast portion of the bridge.
But then nobody saw him after that.
Well,
Nothing
that's not
after
the part that I thought was the part that I thought was telling is they specifically said that he was walking right behind Abby, and Abby's, I'm assuming Abby is the one that said gun.
Well, remember the photo that they cropped and it had a portion of Abby's elbow in the photo?
Yes.
And I've still got that photo.
So technically, the killer didn't even walk behind the girls coming back from the south side. He came from the north end.
Yeah, he came
But I'm
from
saying he
Northland.
was walking behind them as they were crossing the bridge. That's
But
what
you
it says in here.
Yeah.
Well, but technically that part is wrong because he's coming
Randy,
from.
The probable cause.
Well,
says-
I read it, but the problem is the photo of Libby took at the south end of the bridge. There was nobody there behind them.
Oh, you're talking about the one
that
with
we
Abby.
know of from that picture, but there may have been a video portion of it that showed him behind her.
Because the photo with Abby, you don't see anybody behind her.
No.
Yeah.
But in here it specifically states that it shows him walking behind her.
Which we do have a photo of BG behind Abby. I've still got the photo because it shows her left arm, portion of her left arm in the frame.
Abby was cropped out of that BG photo.
Yeah. She was taken out of the photo. Exactly, honeybee. What really
Okay,
distinct?
so it specifically says the video recovered from victim 2's phone shows victim 1 walking southeast on the Monon High Bridge while a male subject wearing a dark jacket and jeans walks behind her. Near the end of the video, a male is seen and heard telling the girls, "Guys, down the hill." The girls then begin to proceed down the hill, and the video ends.
Well, that's
So
down
in
the
that
south
part
end.
of the video that they weren't showing us,
Yeah.
now we know why. Because it shows him walking behind them,
Yeah, because on
and
the
then it
south
shows
side,
Abby saying gun.
Yeah.
they were already on the south side. That's where he's behind the girls on the south side, not on the bridge.
I've got a photo, Randy, that has BG with him on the bridge, and it has a photo of Abby's left arm in the frame.
And this,
Well, I know what you're talking about. I have that too.
this specifically says walking southeast on the Monon High Bridge while a male subject wearing a dark jacket and jeans walks behind her. So this specifically says on the bridge. Yes, it was at that south side, but they were both still on the bridge, and he was walking behind her.
They cropped the video and the pictures so you couldn't see Abby in it. We're not going to get the rest of the video, Melissa. I'm pretty sure of that. That won't be released until probably trial day.
Now I got to ask you one other thing, Randy.
What?
If we're standing on the Monon High Bridge, to the right of you, is that the north? And to the left, where the girls were found, is that the south?
That's east.
If you go
East, if you're standing at the north end of the bridge. West
would
be on the right.
Mm-hmm.
East to be on the left.
So where is south of where the bodies were located?
Where be east, south of the cemetery.
I would say it's going toward the Wilson Bridge is south. The cemetery's east.
Yeah. So the girls went from south.
Right?
The girls went south of the bridge, and then cross.
Right.
To the east.
So that would be east.
Yes. But they're saying they found clothes south of where the girls were found.
Well, it would be west. If they found clothes, it would be west of the bridge, of Monon.
Which is to the right or left?
The right. But that doesn't seem right because the probable cause says south of where the girls were found, which would lead you toward the Wilson Bridge.
No, well, it would be east.
No, actually, it would lead you to the cemetery.
East would, but if you take the creek,
it goes west.
It goes west back toward the Monon High Bridge, but if you go the opposite direction toward the Wilson Bridge, that's going south.
Southeast. That's what I'm always saying. Yeah. There's southeast. But technically, it's east where the cemetery is.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the girls are. So
I'm just trying to figure out where these clothes were found.
It would be down by the Monon High Bridge. That would be west. And that's what that one picture we were looking, me and Frank here, looking on round that bridge. And they said there's clothes by the bridge.
This doesn't say anything about west. It says clothes were found in the Deer Creek belonging to victim 1 and victim 2, south of where their bodies were located.
That would be east. They
got their directions mixed up, are you saying?
Yeah, they got the directions messed up. So the girls are east. The clothes were west. So the directions are told the girls, the bridge goes southeast where the girls were told to go down the hill, but you technically where Ron Logan's property is, it's east where the cemetery is. And so if the clothes went west, that's where they're talking about the bridge.
If you look at it this way, if you're on County Road 300, County Road 300 runs north and south. Okay. So if you take County Road 300 past Ron Logan's and come to that T, you can make a left or a right. The right goes toward the Wilson Bridge.
Yes.
That's, if you're going south to that split by Ron Logan's house, that's south. That leads to the road where Wilson Bridge is at.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying, if they're saying clothes are found in the south.
Monon High Bridge is toward Wilson's Bridge.
Yes.
So if it was clear up there, how could it float that way? It should go west down the creek.
Because the creek, we've noticed numerous times we've been out there, it flows from the south to the northwest.
So the clothes should have went west.
It should have went northwest.
Yeah.
So why did they go south?
They don't know their directions.
It should have went towards the Monon High Bridge, not the Wilson's Bridge.
Right. Creek goes one way. Creek goes only one way.
From Wilson's Bridge to the Monon High Bridge. It goes that way.
That's the way it flows, yes.
Yes. So
These
That's
people who
That's a
wrote
big
this,
question I have.
yeah, those people who wrote this didn't know from east and west of clothing. So the clothes were towards Monon High Bridge, not the opposite way.
What program do I get on to see the map?
Just put,
Google Map. Go Google Maps.
yeah, just do Deer Creek, Delphi, Indiana.
On Google Maps?
Yeah. So if the clothes went clear to Wilson's Bridge, he would have had to drive a car clear over to Wilson's Bridge and drop the clothes down that end to flow that way.
Yeah, so that was strange when I saw that. I'm like, how in the hell is it closed down on the south of the girls when the river flows south to north?
We don't want Google Maps.
Yeah, just go to the area map on Google Map. Just put.
All right, hang on. Oh, schmuck.
Here. You got it?
Just give me a second.
All right, who's ever texting me? I'm not responding right now, guys. Where the hell my phone's at?
All right, what do you want me to go on now here? Oh,
Okay, go to area. Go like you can
an aerial view.
Yeah, aerial view.
Like this?
Yeah.
Yes. All
right. Go where
there's Deer Creek right here.
Right here?
Okay.
Yes.
That's not Deer Creek.
Yeah, it says Deer Creek right there.
Oh, you need to go down to where Wilson's Ridge is.
Yeah, keep going down.
So go back to where Wilson's Ridge is. No.
Where? That's what I'm looking for, Randy.
No, go the other way.
Go to your left.
That's the way
Go
I
to
was
the R
going.
right. Be R right. Go to your right. Drag it to the right.
Go up.
No, not your R. You're right. Not the opposite. You're going into town. Go the opposite way. Zoom out. Zoom out. Here we go. Keep going.
Where is my bridge in here?
You're not there yet. Keep going.
You got to go up.
Keep going.
Can't go up, Frank. That takes me
No.
over here.
Keep going to be me and Frank our right. No. Don't go up. Back state. Just follow the creek back the opposite way. Not towards the town, the other way. No, you're going to town. Go the opposite way.
Would you wait until I go? I've gone both ways now, and you've told me no.
Here, let me see if I could get it real quick.
No, I will get it.
There you go. Yeah. Okay.
All right. That's our circle.
There's Freedom Bridge right there. There we go. All right. There's the line.
Okay.
All right. If you follow your cursor to the right, keep going. Okay. Keep going. Scroll up a little bit so we can find the cemetery.
I drove across.
She's going the right way. She's going the right way. Just keep going.
I was going to say, I drove across Wilson's Bridge. I know it's back
keep
here.
Going. Yeah, keep going.
It's a funky little one-road bridge.
Yeah, the old 1800 bridge. Horse and buggy.
See, it goes south and it goes east and it goes south again.
So this is Wilson's Bridge.
Yeah, that's Wilson. So technically, if they're trying to say somebody, the clothes were clear down that end, the flow down there, that's just crazy. There's no way.
No, because they're saying this is north.
That's east. So
this is west 300 north.
Yeah, north to 300 west.
Yeah.
300 east. So north 300 east. So they're trying to say that
if this way is north.
No, it's not.
No, that's not north.
That's southeast.
That's
okay.
So
anything on, see, can you see get right where that west 300 north is, Marv? Put your cursor on that. All right. Anything where your cursor is downward is considered north. Anything on the other side of that bridge is considered south. So the river is flowing from the south to the north, going back toward the Monon High Bridge.
So this would be the south.
Yes.
This would be the north.
Yes. Coming back toward the Monon High Bridge would be going back toward the north.
Do you agree with that, Randy?
that's correct. It's but still east, but the clothes wouldn't be down there. So they screwed up. So technically, they screwed up in the part of the cause.
We don't know if they screwed up or not.
Why would our clothes be clear down there if the body?
I don't know.
It doesn't necessarily mean it was all the way down there. They're just saying the clothes were just south of where the girls' bodies were found. That could be anywhere between the girls and Wilson's Bridge.
But it wouldn't be down there.
No, I don't think it would be either.
No, it'd be going towards the Monon High Bridge. The bodies were on Ron Logan's property. The clothes were gone to.
It wouldn't have been going to the north, though. This says it was in the south of where the girls were found, which means it would have been somewhere from.
It would have been on Kay Weber's property if it was southeast.
It just says south. Clothes were found in the Deer Creek.
Where's the cemetery?
Belonging to victim 1 and 2 south of where their bodies were located.
Okay, zoom out where the cemetery is then.
Am I there yet? I don't know.
Go back to your right. Go back to the right.
Here's the bridge.
Okay. Go back, go up, and to your right.
Where's the cemetery?
Right there.
Okay,
right
so
right here.
Between where the Monon Bridge, so between where the girls were found, somewhere in that curve area.
Yeah, down
somewhere
here.
In here.
Yeah, in the curve area where the girls were farther. It's like so for where the sandbar is to the Monon Bridge area, somewhere in there, the girls were in there. Or the clothes.
It couldn't have been by the Monon High Bridge because nobody saw clothes by the Monon High Bridge.
That's what I'm saying. Between where the Monon High Bridge and where the girls were found, somewhere in there, the clothes would be in there.
Remember that reporter? Remember that reporter that said that on the 14th he was over in the area about 75 yards from the crime scene, and he said he saw clothes in the creek.
So where you were standing that day?
Somewhere.
So where you were standing that day when I screamed at both of you over there?
I was right there where her curse was at.
So somewhere in between there, the clothes were there.
But you're saying the clothes were more towards the direction of the Monon High Bridge.
Right.
They're saying it was on the south, not the north.
That's the creek flows to the west. So somewhere in between where the girls were found and in between the Monon High Bridge. So the clothes were found in around that curve area. So somewhere around that curve area is where the girls' clothes were found.
See, you're thinking it's somewhere in here. I think it's somewhere in here because it's south. Not
It's
north.
in between Monon and where the girls' bodies were. So somewhere in between there, around the curve area,
Somebody would have seen it.
not by
Oh,
the
more
where,
over on the curve, you're talking.
yeah, more on the curve. So they wouldn't be able to see that.
No, they wouldn't. Okay, that makes sense.
So
And
yeah,
I just saw something. Let me find it.
so yeah, somewhere in between. That's why me and Frank was looking. You know, if the clothes were going towards Monon High Bridge, they would have been there, and Becky would have saw clothes, around there. So yeah, somewhere around, there that the clothes were.
See,
Okay,
I'm kind of lost here for a second because the more I keep thinking about this, Derek showed up at the trails around 3:15, right?
311, 315. He called 311 for the girl, for the Libby.
Okay. Now, somebody in the probable cause said that they witnessed a man walking down 300 with muddy and bloody clothes. What time was that?
That was
hang on, you're getting ahead of me here. What does it mean when they say unspent?
It has not been fired.
Right. But it's got extrication marks on it. What does that mean?
That means on a automatic weapon, when you pull the slide back to put a round in the chamber,
Yes.
as soon as you let go of that slide, it's slamming a round into the chamber. It's automatically going to put striation marks on the casing itself. You don't
On
have
the
to.
casing or the head of it?
No, on the casing where the bullet comes out. There's a
the shell part.
The shell casing. The shell casing. That's what that means.
The shell casing. Yeah, once you fire the shell casing, it pops out.
Okay.
And it wasn't a peak. We got a picture of that Ford Focus that was sent to us in the same color and everything, and it kind of looks like a PT Cruiser from a distance. I sent it to Marv on her messenger.
So by 2:30, he was already done walking on from the cemetery to the car on 300.
Yep. And that's got me baffled because if that's the case, their timing is way off.
Yeah, that's why I said when I started this, the time frame is off, and that's why I said he would have left the cemetery and he got caught being seen on 300 heading back towards his car. And that's why no one saw him going back on the trail. Why would backtracking back to the trail if he had blood and mud? And that's why I said at the beginning, he had blood on his clothes and muddy shoes after climbing the banks of Ron Logan and did what he did to the girls and walked back. And that's where somebody saw him bloody. And that's the only way he'd be seen from the cemetery, walking from the cemetery.
Frank, you got to let me know when you send me stuff that there's personal information on here, please.
I didn't even, it was somebody sent it to me and I just saw the car. Sorry.
So he did leave from the cemetery, and there probably would have been evidence from that cemetery, but the car, all the law enforcement parked all over that cemetery.
Wait a minute. You're getting way ahead of me because I'm still on the second page here.
Oh, well, the blood is on from 5, 6, and 7.
I'd like to kind of go in order and not jump around.
Got it. Okay. Sorry.
Coroner's report's got to be off then when it comes to the time because he's saying between 3 and 3:30 was all done and over with.
When I said it, I knowing that they were murdered from 2:07 on, they were murdered before 2:30. And that's what I'm going by, and I was correct. Yes, Lizzie. He had bloody clothes, muddy shoes.
Hold on, Katie wants to come on the panel.
And people,
Who's that?
one witness saw
Katie
it.
Roby.
Oh,
Give me a second. All right. Sit there. Sorry, guys. Phones are just going nuts.
I sent you a message.
Just almost like the day of the press conference and everything. Yeah, Boston sent me a message that Channel 4 had me on their channel, on their news today.
So why does one witness say it's black hoodie and another person saying it's a blue jacket?
It really just depends on, to me, from the distance they saw this person. He could have blue jeans on and a dark coat, and it could look darker than it really is if you're from a distance.
Yeah, especially if it's a dark jacket, it could look like black or.
Well, then I started thinking about that also. What if this is the situation where Nick McClellan during the hearing said that they believe there's possibly somebody else, and he's using this person all in black as the example.
Right.
So yeah,
I mean, you can't get no better evidence with a gun round, and he even admitted to being on the bridge that day at that time. You can't get no better than that.
no, especially the timing and everything.
Yeah.
You had people saw him walking down 300, going back to his car from the cemetery, saw him with blood and muddy shoes on his clothes.
No, it didn't say anything about shoes. It says the male
Their
subject
shoes would be muddy. Your shoes were muddy. So it'd be muddy shoes and blood on his clothes.
And nobody's seen that. That's what's so strange.
Yeah, blue colored jacket and blue jeans and was muddy and bloody. It appeared he had gotten into a fight.
Yep. And what time was that this person allegedly saw this person? Does it give a time?
Sometime after 2:30 or so.
Hang on.
Because I read it.
So it says, here's exactly what it says. Investigators spoke with blank, who stated that she was traveling east on 300 North on February 13th, 2020, and observed a male subject walking west on the north side of 300 North, away from the Monon High Bridge. Blank advised that the male subject was wearing a blue-colored jacket and blue jeans and was muddy and bloody. She further stated that it appeared he had gotten into a fight. Investigators were able to determine from watching the video from the Hoosier Harvest Store that Blank was traveling on CR 300 North at approximately 3:57. So that's what time they're saying he was leaving.
Now, I walked that. It'd take you longer from the cemetery. So the time that she said,
It doesn't say anything about him leaving the cemetery, though.
well,
right?
he's walking on the 300 back towards that way. Nobody saw him on the trail coming back from the kill zone. So he left from the cemetery. So the time that she saw him, that's the time she was going past him at the harvest. So it was done by 2:30, and he was already walking from the cemetery.
Then why is it saying that he's being seen at 4? Where'd it go? Or at 3:57 at that time?
That he was walking on the road. But he left.
Up there you go. What?
You have to take the time.
True.
You have to take the.
She's
You
got
have
a
to-
YouTube channel open or something.
You have to take the time he left from the cemetery. So they're not taking the time walking to the cemetery. So basically, if I
You're
walk,
saying it was over at 2:30.
yes,
This is saying he was leaving there by 3:57. That's
But no one saw him on the
an
trail.
hour and a half away.
no one saw him on the trail coming back.
I understand that, but that
But-
does not mean that it was over by 2:30.
It was over by 2:30.
Well,
He left from the he left from the cemetery going back to his car.
See that though.
Yeah, but what we're saying, Randy, is that the witness said that she spotted him on 300 at 3:57.
Yeah,
which is
at
an
the
hour and a
harvest.
half.
Harvest.
Where
Hoosier
is the
Harvest.
harvest? Where's Hoosier Harvest at?
It's the storage unit, the blue storage unit,
Right by the Packard,
right across
right?
from Keith's home, and not that far from the mirrors. So if I started at 2:30, if I started at 2:30 at the cemetery and took my time and head back, I bet I'll get there about the same time. He has to climb up the hill from where the kill zone was to go through the cemetery.
I know that you think he went through the cemetery, but there's other ways he could have gone too. It doesn't mean he went through the cemetery to get
But
over there.
He didn't go back on the trail.
I know that, but there's other ways to get onto the road besides the cemetery.
I've been out there. I know what I see out there.
The timeline's just all screwed up, period, people.
That's why I
That's
said the
just the way I'm
timeline's always
seeing it
been
right
screwed
now.
up.
That's what I'm seeing. But it's just so hard to believe. Hold on a second, guy.
What do you? Oh my God! Hold on about. Yes, I agree. Okay. Oh. So then what was okay, so he said that he was on the trail from 1:30 to 3:30. And that he parked at an old Farm Bureau building, which they're assuming is the CPS building because there was no Farm Bureau building.
No. He parked in front of it to cover his plate.
Oh. Oh, I read that one. This is the page I want. Okay, so they said laboratory remarked an identification opinion is reached when the evidence exhibits an agreement of class characteristics and a sufficient agreement of individual marks. Sufficient agreement is related to the significant duplication of random striated impressed marks as evidence by the correspondence of a pattern or combination of patterns of surface contours. Interpretation of identification is subjective in nature and based on relevant significant research and the reporting examiner's training and experience. So is this where they're talking about the marks on the bullet?
Yes. Striation marks.
Okay, so they ran the firearm and found that the firearm was purchased by him. He voluntarily came into the Indiana State Police on October 26th. He never allowed anyone to borrow the gun. When asked about the unspent bullet, he did not have an explanation of why it was found between the bodies of victim 1 and victim 2. He admitted that he was on the trail but denied knowing victim 1 and victim 2 and denied any involvement in the murders. I'm doing a live.
Dear God.
And that's where it talks about only seeing one male. I like how it says that his wife confirmed that he did have guns and knives and owns a blue Carhartt jacket.
All right. Katie should be here any second. She had her YouTube up and was trying to log in through StreamYard through her messenger.
So, according to this video from Hoosier Harvest Store, it's saying that his vehicle, or a vehicle that matches the description of his vehicle, passed at 1:27 p.m. going towards the former CPS building. So how long would it take to get from this Harvest Store to the CPS building? Like a couple minutes?
Well, I timed it, so it'd be like 11 minutes. Depends on, because I did the times. I did the video on times. So I walked from there past the Harvest, so figure under 11 minutes.
Yeah, but that's walking. What about driving?
Driving should be less than 1 minute.
Okay.
What's up, Katie?
So technically, it'll be less than 1 minute. It depends on if he's speeding through there or not.
Am I good? Can you hear me?
I
You're good.
can hear
We
you.
can hear you now.
No echo?
No echoes.
Sweet. Hey, Randy.
Hey.
Hey, Frank.
What's going on?
And I'm going to guess this is Marv.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Katie. Nice to meet you. I also go by MFW online.
Miss, that's being wonderful.
Yeah. So everything they say about me is true and a little bit worse.
Wow. Boy, I tell you what, I've watched some of her shows, man, and she, boy.
I know. It's a good time, though.
So
Yep.
let's get your opinions on some stuff there, Katie. What do you think of this probable cause?
Hold on. So I feel like, hold on, I'm connecting a few things. I can't see chat. Give me 2 seconds, please.
Okay.
I feel like they better come with some more evidence. I feel that's where I'm at right now. Like, I don't feel like they have enough. Like, what do you mean? Where's the DNA on the jacket? Where is this? There's no talk about DNA. We're talking about a bullet in between them. Okay. I've been arguing people all night. I even texted Angela Ganote and she responded back to me and agreed. They better come with more evidence. This is not that's all they have. You're kidding me. When I thought that they were going to drop this, I thought we were going to get some hard balls. I thought we were going to get like answers. I have more questions now than I ever have the entire case.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand the significance of a probable cause. A probable cause is not going to give you every piece of evidence in the case. They just want to give you a taste and then the reasoning why they arrested him. All the evidence is going to be in the discovery, which we won't hear or see until trial.
Right.
Which is months away.
Right.
You're talking years away. More likely a year to 2 years, I'm thinking. If he doesn't file for a speedy trial.
And depends on where it's going to be, too.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in Fort Wayne.
It doesn't matter where he goes in the state of Indiana. He's going to get the same outcome. Everybody knows this case.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody knows this. So what? You're going 150 miles from Delphi? What? Like, that's what I was saying to my people earlier. I was like, okay, go 150 miles from Delphi to what? Southern Indiana? You're not going 150 miles north. You'd be in Chicago, beyond Chicago. So if it's going to Fort Wayne, that's what, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it does not matter. He's screwed.
Like Miss Haunted Parlor said, you never share your entire hand. And that's exactly what the prosecutor's done here.
Yeah, he's holding in the ace.
He's holding the ace of spades.
Joe, did you get the link? Yes, Joe got the link. Thank you. I'm trying to share it with everyone. I had so many people commenting on Facebook. I couldn't see the Facebook chat. I got frustrated and I just logged off. I was like, look, who's live? And I seen that Frank was live. I was like, drop me a link so we can talk about it here. Everyone, send out my link. Let's get the numbers up. We only got 200. Let's at least get it to 1,000 for Abby and Libby. Damn, we got new evidence. We got everything is dropping. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
We got to show out and make sure that you subscribe and donate to the channel that we're on, because they're being so kind and letting me be a guest here.
Queen of Oasin, you don't know Katie very well. That's just her demeanor. That's just the way she is.
I'm loud. I apologize. I am.
It's all right.
Yeah,
It's
she's
all right.
loud. She's loud even in person. She's loud.
Those two know me in person. May the Lord be with them. You guys have no idea.
But like I was getting at, the prosecutor is not going to show his ace of spades right off the bat. It's not going to happen.
No, they're not going to release the evidence that we want to hear.
Exactly.
Not until trial.
I think there'll be some good things, but also you can ask Joe, when affidavits are wrote against, it is literally to convince a judge one way or the other. Right now, if I were to read that as a judge, I'm not convinced. I'm sorry. I'm not convinced. You can nail me to a cross right now. Is that all you got?
The bullet evidence enough that it matched his gun is enough there.
That was enough to get a probable
They
cause.
didn't even have to tell us any of the other information.
Yeah.
All they had to tell us was that
we found a bullet within a couple feet of the girl.
And the strikings or whatever matched.
Yep, the striation marks.
I got one question. Okay, just one. And I'm not very smart about this, so I'm just going to say, and by the way, I'm asking this dumbass question under my own face. So does every 45, every gun have like something specific to them to make it unique so that you can tell that that bullet came out of that gun?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No one, only one gun has the striation marks from that gun. You cannot have several guns or even two guns that make the same striations.
Yes, every weapon has a different barrel.
It's like our fingerprints.
Or chamber, exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like our fingerprints.
It's a fingerprint for a gun.
Yeah.
You're telling me every gun in the world, like every 45 AR right now, like I'm not, we all know I love guns. I love my AR. I love my Caltech. You're telling me if I go and buy bullets at say Walmart or whatever, and someone next to me buys bullets too, and we put it in the gun, my gun's going to shoot it out a different way than the next jabroni who shoots it out.
Yes.
Technically, yeah. If you shoot your gun, it'd be two
different striation marks, and you also have a firing pin that hits the back of the bullet, and they can examine that also to determine if the gun was used in the crime.
So then, with his fingerprint be on the bullet or anything like that, it'd be what they're going to find.
Yep. It's weird how it happens, but it does.
Yeah.
That is wild to me.
Yeah.
Okay. That is absolutely wild to me. Okay. And here's the other question that I have while I'm reading. Was the bullet that they found in between them shot out of the gun, or was it just?
No, it was unspent, which means it was not fired.
Then that's what I'm saying. How can they say that it came from him?
I just explained that earlier.
The bullet matches his gun.
When you have an automatic and you go to chamber a round into the slide, you pull that slide back and let it go to eject a round into the chamber, you're sliding that bullet across metal when it's being slid into the chamber, into the barrel. It automatically makes some type of triangulation marks on the casing itself, not on the bullet, on the shell casing. It leaves marks on there they can match to a specific gun.
And that way, if they don't fire it and they just discharge it, it's called unspent and it still has those markings on there.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody hashtag HR. That's one of my mods. All my mods and all my people, please.
Oh, it's one of your mods? Okay, cool.
Yeah, make sure you like up the channel, please, you guys, and make sure that you put the word out on Twitter. And nobody knows where I'm at right now. Like the main core group does, because I put it in the mod chat, but nobody else does. So if you could share this out and tell them to make sure to subscribe to the channel, because there's like nobody here right now. Let's get them in here and donating, because this is a good channel. I know Frank in real life. I know you all know. I know Randy. It's good old Randy Gravitz. Great, Randy. What are you doing with your background? Are you getting all fancy on us now?
Just for him.
You're getting fancy on me. Oh my goodness, Randy is. Oh, Tampa girl, I love you so much. And Tampa's showing up. That's one of my mods too. Yes.
All right, Joe. If we're incorrect, you have to tell us what is right and what's not.
I'm going to pull up who's your coach.
Let's get Joe up here. Joe, I know you're driving, but you can talk and drive.
I'm going to invite.
Well, he called me earlier. Where does he come? Where's Joe coming from?
I don't know. He's down south, I think.
Down south?
I don't know. I blew up his text messages earlier and then messed off. I'm sorry. I'm a cusser. I won't cuss here. I messed off for a while. And then I was like, hey, Joe, I'm going live with Frank. Make sure that you watch.
Hey, Hoosier. I just put the link in our chat, man. If you want to jump in here, there's the link, buddy.
Oh, you're in Mississippi,
Joe?
Joe?
You cannot positively ID an unspent round.
Where's Mindy? We need Mindy. Mindy, if she came up here, she would be good. Like, she knows her stuff. I don't. Like, the whole, okay, so we got a bullet that hasn't been fired in between them, and they're saying it came from him. How can they do that if it wasn't fired out of his gun?
Well, they got a lot of records over the years, so they can tell by all the bullets and which gun it came from.
What? If it hadn't been fired, how can you tell? That's where I'm getting at.
When you chamber a bullet out of a automatic, it automatically leaves striation marks on the bullet when it is ejected from the side port of the weapon.
Well, I got a very special guest here. I've got a retired MP, a retired IMPD officer, also a Lebanon police officer currently. Now tell me, hold on, when I figure out how to flip this camera around, just give me a moment.
It's a little
I'm
phone
gonna flip it
camera thing.
around.
Look for your little phone thing to flip.
Randy, I always ask you how to do this kind of. How do I flip my camera around on here?
Look
Because
for
I
the
want to get a live
camera.
interview.
Either a circle, look for the circle, the arrow, or the little camera. You push, it'll flip the other way.
Here we go. I think I got it. I
Right.
think I do.
Here you go. Here's a good explanation. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Marks in the chamber housing. When the bullet is put into the chamber, it automatically puts those marks on the casing itself, not the bullet head itself, but just the casing. That's how they tied the bullet to his gun.
Babe, I need you to explain to me really fast, because I guess I'm just like not getting the concept of this. How can they mark this bullet back to Richard Allen's gun if he never fired it out of his gun?
Like I just said, you have every time you chamber around or something, the gun puts a mark on the casing of the bullet, not the bullet, the casing. So
Exactly what I was saying.
it's every gun is different. It's like a fingerprint. And they can go in and tell by looking at the scratch marks or the shot fire.
And that's legit.
That's legit.
So if I were to put it in my AR and it misfire, and that happens sometimes, and you know damn well it does, because when we were shooting last night, it did.
There's a mark on the casing of the bullet.
All right, and the motherfucker's guilty. And that's it.
And every individual casing or something, or shot fired or not fired, is
Why would he not burn the jacket that he committed the crime in? Why does he still own that jacket? Why do the police have that? That's the next question. Why would he do such a stupid thing?
We do not know if they have the clothing.
All you know what the witnesses saw.
Yep. And I was right. Anytime that you chamber around or exit around out of a weapon, it leaves striation marks from the chamber itself on the casing.
I'm learning things tonight.
I was in the military, so I learned all this stuff. So we got a bot in here, Randy.
I'm trying to find where to go.
He's at the very bottom of the chat.
All right. Well,
If that's the case, which I have 2 military men telling me that's the case, then that's it. This is it. It's done, and there's no questions asked for the group, for everyone else. Joe, everyone, there it is. Then you can't deny it.
Now we got Hoosier up. What's up,
Hey, everybody.
Hoos? What's going on, buddy?
hey, Hoosier.
Good to
Katie,
see you
where
guys.
at?
Hey,
Hey, MFW, how are you?
I'm just like trying to figure it all out, man. And I know like this whole group is like, who the heck is this? But like, I really don't know. And now I learned that every gun is, then that's it. It's cut and dry, right? That's all there is. That's all she wrote. He's guilty.
What do you think, Hoosier?
I need to process this. So the extractor would create unique marks on a bullet
Without being fired.
without being fired. You know, if it was in the barrel and then extracted, there would be some marks. But through the research I've seen, it's not super reliable. And if their case hinges so much on that, it has me worried.
Thank you, Hoosier. That's where I'm at too.
But like we said before, they're not going to give you the ace of spades in a probable cause.
Yeah, they're not giving everything.
Right.
It's just enough to be able to arrest him. And I
It's
think
exactly
that was
I mean,
enough to arrest him.
even in him putting himself at the scene. I mean, come on.
And he was telling things that witnesses that weren't released publicly, and it corroborated well with what witnesses said. So yeah, I mean,
What? Excuse me, what? No, he was telling people things. This is the first I've heard about this.
he told the police, like when they went back and interviewed him recently, he was telling them, like he was standing on the bridge, and he said he saw 3 girls or whatever. He left out some other people that saw him. He told them he parked at CPS, blah, blah, blah.
Right, and he backed in so that they could not see his license plate. I know, I saw that, I heard that, and then I seen online that an eyewitness said that they saw him, or in the affidavit, he was bloody and muddy.
Which is crazy. If you see somebody bloody and muddy, 5.5 years later, they finally catch him. Like, what did they? I would call 911 if I saw somebody that looked like they had been in a fight, bloody and muddy.
Why didn't they know immediately then? If this lady is saying, hey, this guy is coming back to a car at wherever beyond, or walking from the Mona, bloody and muddy, and this just happened, why didn't we have him within days of the murder? Like, this is not adding up to me. Like, we're missing something here.
Oh, sorry, Frank.
That's what you call dropping the ball at the beginning of the case.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the FBI was too focused on Ron Logan, or they got too many tips in that they couldn't vet correctly, or it was too much They didn't have good management of the data and who knew what. Too many.
Maybe they didn't have enough evidence. Maybe they didn't have. They knew who it was. They talked to, because like Indie Girl saying, yeah, he said we talked to you before. You could be. You're sitting in this room. It's going to shock everybody. You know what I mean? All
Yeah.
these things.
I don't think they knew until just recently, when Kathy Schenk went back over stuff and found that and said, hey, we should look at this guy again.
I was under the impression that he was tipped in this past summer.
Mm-mm.
I
He
think
was
it
saying
was-
he's been on the bridge since day one. Like they've
Well,
interviewed
yeah,
him.
but they didn't do anything with it.
Well, I think it was back when they said they start looking into him when whatever that date was. Hold on, when was the date that they started looking back into him?
When they did the presser.
Was it something before then? Before
No,
that?
no. They have had him on the radar since day
Yeah.
one, since he came in and said, hey, I was on the trail. So they put him in the back. Okay. And they've been connecting the dots ever since. This is what I think. They had a gut feeling it was him. That's why Carter went on and on and on like the way he did. Like, oh, you're in this room. You're right underneath because you're working at CBS and we know it. We're just waiting to get something to where we can go get a warrant and get you. So they've been building all this. Now, how Key and Klein and all them are connected, I have no idea. If they could have got him on cut and dry evidence, they would have got him right then and there. They have had to have been waiting on something.
Well, like
I
you
think
said,
they can. Go ahead, Randy. Sorry, buddy.
they looked at every single interview at the beginning. They had to do it about 2 or 3 times to make sure they didn't miss anybody. For some reason, they should have had him on the radar when they went through all the interviews again. So something clicked somewhere.
I mean, he was tipped in by Tara German. He was, he came forward right after the murders. I think they just forgot about him until very recently when somebody with a fine tooth comb was going through stuff. And it's very weird. I don't know. I
Now,
mean,
what could they possibly be looking for at his house? Anybody got any word on what they might have found or anything?
his gun. I would
They said they
assume
get. Well, I've heard gun in the jacket, but who knows?
I think
they
the
took
clients
away
are still
like dark
tied.
clothing.
Yeah. I'm not gonna exclude anybody out of this case until they exclude everybody.
How do you think that the Kleins are, or do you even think that the Kleins are involved?
I don't. I think they have been looking for funding for their internet crimes task force since 2015. Doug Carter himself has been begging for money for that. They saw an opportunity where there is an internet part of this potentially, and they're like, well, now's a good time to bring all this crap up so we can get some more funding. And look, I may be wrong. I absolutely understand that. I have one of my best friends totally thinks there's a Klein involvement. But
Oh yeah, I get so many people that tell me all the time, "Oh, you do think that the Kleins are involved?" And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Well, I'm looking into that angle right now because you got to realize Richard and his wife Katie or Kathy lived in Peru at one point in time. They lived in Mexico, Indiana at one point in time. You got to realize Keegan and his dad's Jerry, the senior, lived in Mexico, Indiana, the same time as Richard Allen.
Okay, okay, all right, maybe that's so. I agree. Okay, maybe that's so.
Because the law enforcement was watching all the houses that Richard Klein used to live in.
Yep. He even used to live right up the street from me here in Greenwood, Indiana at one point in time. Him and his wife. Yeah,
So
they
do
lived.
you think that all of you, Randy, Frank, Huser, do you think that this is his first time to take on two girls at one time? Like, is this his first time doing this?
I don't think so. This is his first time.
It's
Well, you know
possible.
they're looking
but
into that.
probably not.
You know they're looking into that case for that girl out of Mexico. What was her name? Me and Mark were talking about her earlier. That went missing and they found her dead.
Jordan
Yeah,
Sofer.
Joe.
There you
Worked
go.
at the RV place. I'm sorry. Call me whatever you want. I think it is ballsy for someone for their first felony murder to take on two little girls, and that's pretty freaking confident. Okay, that's pretty confident to say, "Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and take on two of them." If that's the case, in my mind, this isn't his first time. He's had to have done it before.
Yeah, I know something tells me he did it another time. He murdered. And he liked it.
To feel comfortable to do something like that in broad daylight.
Right.
Or it's not him at all.
Right.
Exactly. Thank you, Huser. And you walked me into my next thing. God, I love you. Why have I not met you sooner? We need to do a podcast together. You ready to blow it up? I can't have a YouTube. I can't have it. I had a huge YouTube channel. I don't know if you know that. I got shut the fuck, not huge, like big, huge, but I had a pretty decent size one. I got shut down because we'll talk about that later. But I can only see a secondary on someone's channel, and I have a following, solid fucking following, who wants me to go somewhere and talk about this case and talk about other things and stuff too. But I need an in on YouTube. And just talking to you right now, like you're totally on my page. My people who are in here, subscribe to his channel right now. We need to get him. Joe, everybody, put out the word, Twitter. Let's
Frank.
Hold on a second here.
Let's make this happen.
Frank,
Mark, go ahead.
put her link to her channel in the chat.
Oh,
I don't have a channel.
Oh, you don't
She
have
doesn't have a channel. She's working getting her channel back.
Mark,
Mark,
do you like dogs? Mark,
What?
do you like dogs?
Yes.
So I live alone. I'm single, right? You want to see my puppy that was literally 10 pounds when I got him, and now almost 2 years later is over 100. I weigh 147 pounds, and my dog weighs 10 pounds less than me. Look at this little beast.
Aww.
He's a Shepsky. I'm in love. That's my baby. But anyways, I had to have that moment with you because you're the only female on the panel, so we had to have that moment.
This Mark that I have up here on a comment, is this the Mark that's a defense attorney?
I'm gonna let my dog out. I'll be right back,
I
guys.
could have swore.
All right, I
he
just
said-
asked that we watch the language on the channel. I don't want to get us straight or anything. So she doesn't have a link, you guys. Her channel.
She doesn't have a YouTube channel yet back. So she's trying to work on and get her channel back.
I'm trying to find that guy. I think he was an attorney. Yeah, Mark, you are an attorney, man. You want to come up on the panel?
Where's Mark? I don't see Mark.
Mark Caluso, is that his name? He sent us an email a few days back, and he said that he is a death penalty attorney and that he has experience in this kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I'm trying to ask him if he wants to come on.
I will warn her about the language, you guys.
Hey, Verbal. Hey, everyone.
I'm going to put the link out there, Mark, if you want to come on, buddy.
It'll be real interesting when it comes at his court hearing.
Who's your cold case? The redacted detective in the PCA is Tony Liggett, right? Were they protecting him for the election?
They called it. They said detective. Is Liggett a detective?
Yeah,
Yes.
Detective Leggett. Yes, he was Detective Leggett during the case. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Maureen, I'll never be replaced. It's okay.
protecting him. I almost think this is a stunt to get him elected. I'm
That's what
just
it
being
was.
prepared
It's a
for
stunt to get him elected. He knew everything in order to get just in line in order to get him elected.
It does have odd timing. With they had a lawsuit against them. 2 days later, they're like, "Hey, we caught the guy."
And see, I said the same thing. I said, how convenient is this to happen right after the election? That didn't make any sense to me.
I mean, before the election.
Before the election, yeah.
I didn't see anything in there that suggests any other people involved, and I don't see anything in there that should need to not be public. Why they kept it, and the judge agreed, right?
Was because of the names of the witnesses.
Yeah, but they easily were able to redact that. And in
Yes.
the witness names, I completely get. Why'd they redact the detective name? That makes no sense. But fine.
When everybody knew who it was, I mean, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And see, then I realized there was page 8 and 9 of that probable cause, which was the witness list and the signature list for whoever signed off on the probable cause to be released.
Because the only thing the prosecutor named in the courthouse that day was Holman and Mullins, who were finding the evidence.
All right, so let me answer Joe here. I'd have to look back. I don't think I took pictures in your van when we were riding back to the parking lot.
And I'm starting to wonder if the family wanted it sealed because the witness list had a name on there they didn't want nobody seeing.
No, the family don't have anything to do with it.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at
They
all.
actually did walk right to the courts to make sure it doesn't get unsealed.
So do you guys think that this whole guy in black is the other person that they could be looking for, that he may not be?
No, I think that some people like the younger, whoever it was, like some seen it darker, some see. Why is my camera not on? Sorry. Hold on, that's rude. I apologize. Listen, I know, and I'm just kind of, you gotta, and I apologize to your crowd. I am very loud, and I have passion, and you know what I mean. And I apologize. I don't apologize for it, but I apologize for like kind of when I want to say something, I got to say it now.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that all is a misconception. I think that it was dark blue jacket, and like some seen it as like black, but it dark blue, whatever it was, but it was a darker jacket. You know what I mean? That's what I think. That all adds up to.
I thought about that too.
People's memory.
But you got to also remember from the beginning that there was a witness stating that they seen somebody all in black too.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
We don't know who it is.
In the PCA, it says somebody was in all black.
Yeah.
All black?
Yeah, it's in there.
I still think it's a misconception. Say whatever. Sorry, I'm turning on some lights so I can see.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking the same thing. If the person's 50, 60 yards away from a person is dressed in dark clothes, not knowing if it's dark blue or if it's black or
blue or whatever, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I'm seeing it right now. So
we just know it was dark. Whether it was black or dark blue, we don't know, but it was dark. Okay, that's where we're at.
Especially if they're far in the distance, couldn't tell what color of the jacket.
It was good to learn which camera was capturing everything.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. But it puts him at the scene at the time of the crime. So I mean, I can understand why they issued a warrant for him, plus the bullet. You can't explain that away.
No.
You cannot explain that away.
Okay, hang on.
Uh-oh. She's got
What
something
did you do, Marv?
Are we all out in our garages? It looks like we're all just chilling out in our garage, because I know I am.
Shit, not me. I'm sitting right here at my dining room table.
I'm in my
apartment.
I don't smoke in my house. I've got a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that I pay way too much in fucking rent for. But anyways, I'm out here in my garage where I spend 90% of my time. What is wrong with me?
Hey, Katie.
What?
Do me a favor, bite your tongue on the F bombs.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
There you go again.
I'm sorry.
We're going to start bleeping
They
you.
demonetize for that.
You're
Yeah.
going to get bleeped.
I'll get you way more viewers for it though too at the same time.
Somebody
Look, I'm
made-
real. I'm sorry. I try to censor myself, and sometimes I will though. I will. I'm trying to be respectful. I apologize.
I want to respond to this. Sure, black or blue is a huge difference. Laugh my ass off, and the video is blue, period. But you got to understand, if you've never been on the trails itself, you don't have no lighting,
Right.
no sun shining through, none of that because of the trees. So it's going to look darker to another person from
Yeah.
a distance.
Where'd it go?
Ah, she lost it.
No, it's like like Joe said, it's like the meme or whatever you say, whatever you call it. A few years ago, is this gold? Is it blue? Everybody's seeing it differently. Okay, it goes back to that. It was a dark jacket, everybody. That
Well,
was it.
especially
That's
if,
all we got.
Especially if you are colorblind, you wouldn't
Right.
know what color it is.
Yeah, but
I'm going to cut in real quick. I've got somebody complaining about one of our people in the chat. If you don't stop harassing or whatever you're doing to Zendaya gal, you will be blocked. With no harassment, none of that crap in my chat, guys.
what's going on? Who is it?
Who's going what?
Zendaya gal is saying, Raceways, could you please leave me alone?
I don't know
Rockway? You
either
mean
one of them.
Rockway? The Rockways?
Yeah, the Rockaways. Not going to have that in our chat, guys. No bullying, nothing like that. If I catch you, you're going to be in timeout for a couple minutes, and if you want to continue, I will block you for the rest of the evening.
Understandable. And if you got nothing good to say, make sure that you join my Facebook page because we talk about
And I will make it. I will say some other things also.
laughing but very serious.
We will not downgrade or degrade any other creators on this platform. We, like I said, any of that, you're gone. We don't have none of that in our channel. None of it.
All right. So this is what one of the witnesses said. Blank advised he was wearing a black hoodie, black jeans, and black boots. That is far from what they're describing as the jeans and the blue Carhartt jacket.
Yeah, but
So-
at the same time, we got a younger and an older picture because you see young people describing someone and you see an older person describing someone. So what they said in carving, we have, like, if you were to ask what someone our age, hey, he'd be like, oh, he's in his 40s, you know, he middle age, whatever, 30s, 40s. If you ask a little 15, 16-year-old, which they were, oh, he was a little bit older, and they matched him to the first sketch, which made him look younger. And then we have the lady who's like, he's muddy and bloody.
This
He was
has-
our age. He was 40s. And then we get the second sketch. That's how I see it. I don't know. What about you, Hugher? What about you, Randy? What about you, Frank, Marv?
Like I said before, I'm looking at it this way. They're giving two descriptions in this PCA, right? Well, during the hearing, Nick McLeland made it very clear they believe there was another person involved. Could this person in black be the second person involved?
Right. That's
Yep.
what I'm saying.
I heard the second sketch was of they wanted tips on somebody they thought was the killer. And so they used that. But none of that makes, I don't know. There's so much
I don't believe
weirdness
that.
because they are, it was supposedly done by Master Trooper Taylor Bryant a couple days after the murders. So,
Are you talking about the dog walking ladies?
oh no,
depiction?
that's not real. There's no dog walking lady.
Yeah, there's no dog walking. That's the one thing. It's not. It's fake.
So,
but- Yeah, until like everything comes out, I don't know. We may never get the details you know.
I don't see it happening unless you're sitting in the courtroom during trial.
And even then, they're only going for things that will absolutely prove that he killed them, and not, you know, like step by step of things that happened that day, or even the witnesses supposedly, or that, you know, when you go back, I went through Web Sleuths one time, like all the way back to the 13th and 14th, and there are rumors that started back then and have persisted all through this. So it's nearly impossible to wade through the rumors versus fact. And then of course, like, we have law enforcement telling us some things that end up not being true either. So
Right.
no one
But
saw him leave, but then or no one saw him that day, but yet here we have a ton of witnesses in the arrest affidavit.
Right.
No one saw him leave. That one I do believe.
He didn't go back on the trail. He was on 300 and walking
Oh,
back.
yeah. See, yeah, I do agree
Yeah.
with that, that nobody's seen him after the fact.
Yeah.
I do agree
No
with
one
that.
actually.
Well,
Yeah.
but if
What,
they
you
didn't
don't
see him
believe
afterward,
bloody and
how'd they see
muddy's
him
true?
bloody and muddy? Yeah.
Bloody and muddy's not true. Is that what I'm hearing?
So
See,
I
well,
guess-
McCain would have known Richard Allen, and he would have seen the blood and mud on him if he went back to the
Cemetery.
well,
No, if he
no, on
went
the
back-
trail.
Isn't that what a witness said? I seen blood and mud, and this dude looked like he got beat up walking back.
But that
I
wasn't
mean,
it wasn't on the trails, it was on the road.
right, walking back. Exactly, Marv. So
Yep.
there is that eyewitness that's seen that.
Right.
and
Let's
it was like
see.
at 4:27, so an hour and a half after.
3:57 is that time. Those were the
Can I
time-
say something?
Of course.
Yeah, 2:13. Yeah, almost.
So, Randy, you remember 4 or 5 years ago when it's been 5 years ago? Oh my God, when this went down.
Going
5
quick,
years
yeah.
ago, I was over 400 pounds. Okay, true story right here. I was over 400 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
Freaking pounds. I apologize, Mark, Frank. Everyone say a prayer.
What good is that?
We
gonna
need to
do?
get a jar.
It's not going to get you shut down on YouTube. Other things will, but this will not. Listen, the point I'm trying to get at here is, I know as a woman, I was. You can ask people who know me. I was over 400 pounds. Randy knows it.
Mhm.
Okay, so listen. The trail that Derek supposedly walked to Ashford, there is no way him at his size got there and got back in the timing that he says that he did. Because I'm going to tell you, at my size, and I was maybe 100 pounds less than. I was struggling walking that trail. There is no way in the world that I believe that he walked that trail and was screaming for them girls. He went up to, like, the beginning was like, Libby, Abby, you know what I mean? And then he waddled back to the car and called Tara. Tara came out. Tara, probably Amanda too. And no, that's when the trails were actually walked. There's nothing in my mind going to change that. I love the family to death. I do. I will never go against them. But that's one detail that there's no way Derek walked all the way down to the bridge and all that, and the timing he did. He was over 500 pounds.
That's why I keep saying the timeline is off, because
There's something's not right here. That's all I'm saying. I will never go against the family. I love them to death, but that timing is off.
Well, we know it's off because in the probable cause, it says that Kelsey dropped him off at 149. We always thought it was 135.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, there's that too. And then he goes, no. Something's not right here with that. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Because if Derek arrived at the trails at 3:15 to pick the girls up, you should have seen BG walking 300.
Right. How could he have not have seen that if that's the case? But then there was, what was it? The witness that seen two people sitting in a car, and it was supposedly Derek and Tara. Okay. Which, okay, maybe it was. But you're telling me that Derek at over 5, and everyone, that's what video in the Delphi case made me go viral, is when I walked the property and went to the land. Me, over 400, I was jumping the fence and all that. I ran into Ron Logan's wild horse, crossed the water, came back. I did the whole, there is no way. Marv, Frank, Huser, and Randy, at my weight as a woman, there's no freaking way that he walked where he said that he did and was screaming for the girls. Maybe if he would have walked a little further, never mind. I shouldn't even say that. I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying he didn't walk there. And
Well, he went to on the different trail. He walked towards down the creek.
The 505.
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Even at that, I don't even believe he walked that either. I believe he walked right up where they let off, if he even walked that. Abby, Libby, screamed, hollered, called like a million times, and then walked back to the car and called. It was on the phone with Tara. Tara, Amanda, whoever it was, came out, and that's when the search began. Yep. That timing was so crucial, and I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad or be bad, but that was the crucial timing right there.
Well,
And there's no way that anyone's going to convince me that he went as far as he did. He walked that trail like I did. I'm sorry. No.
Marvin, Frank, thank you so much for letting me come on for a few. Super
Yeah.
appreciate it. Randy, always a pleasure.
oh, thank you.
And
Oh,
MFW,
yeah,
good
but-
to see you again.
Before we
You guys have a
go,
great
Hoosier-
night. I got to
Hold
think
on.
about this stuff a few days. Like,
I
Hey,
know.
hey,
weird.
Hoosier,
Yeah, buddy.
when we were out there on the 29th, what did you think of the coordinates when we put them on your digital compass?
I think we were in the right spot. It's kind of hard to tell in person from when you're trying to line up photographs and things like that. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, it was 50 feet from the bank.
Hey, I just want to say I'm sorry if I offended any of you guys, because I have very strong opinions. I didn't
You're fine.
mean to overcross the line. These are my opinions, and it does not reflect the creators of this channel whatsoever or the guests on this channel. This is NFW talking her reality here. I'm sorry. I'm just being real. And I apologize. And not really, but I do, because I'm on someone else's channel. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be disrespectful.
You should have a content warning above your picture. MFW.
But,
Usually they do.
But getting back to what we were talking about, Hoosier, is we pinpointed the crime scene with the orange paint, and then we took RL's phone GPS and put them on that digital compass that you had, and it was not even within 5 feet.
Yeah, so there's something weird there. There really is. I truly believe. I don't know if he was involved at all or just
Stumbled across the crime scene.
yeah, but it's very strange, and hopefully we get that clarified too.
I
See,
agree.
that's one thing I want clarified about his phone. You guys were so hard into looking at him,
Yeah,
but never done anything, but you explained he was at the crime scene. So where do we go from there?
and
you know?
and
Well,
what
if that's
technology?
the case, Cheyenne was at the crime scene then. She was taking
Yeah, well,
pictures.
she didn't leave there till like almost 3:50, close to 4 o'clock.
So she was leaving around the same time the killer was.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be any kind of way. I know the family. I don't believe any of the family is saying that. And I'm not trying to put them down. I'm just saying stuff is not adding up here.
Because
I mean-
he would have been walking right past her.
The Mears lot.
Yes.
Right? Thank you.
Yeah, she would have saw him with blood and mud all over him.
Right. And no one can deny someone who's muddy and bloody.
I mean, he could have ducked down in the woods when he saw her walking by.
They had to walk through the creek. He was
Yeah, it'd be
muddy,
300. He was
bloody,
walking on
and wet.
300, so that's the only way you can walk by. There's no cover.
Well, what if he went through he cut through the cemetery?
That's why he said he
It
went
doesn't
through the
make a
cemetery.
difference if he cuts through the cemetery, because once you get on 300 and everybody was starting to arrive for the search around 4, somebody would have seen him.
Yeah,
And someone did.
I mean, it's like miracle timing. He even left the area
Someone
at
did.
all.
It's almost like he
Yes.
was an invisible man.
Yeah,
Honestly, it
Cheyenne
does.
and her friends would have saw him getting when they're returning.
Walking.
How does this
Right.
happen, guys? How does this happen?
People don't pay attention to their surroundings very well.
That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
the timeline is way off. It's
Yeah.
got to be.
I'm sorry. If I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I'm taking pictures, I'm that observant and I'm a photographer and I'm taking pictures, I'm not gonna notice, and there's no way. She did, it's all adding up.
I mean, there's
It'll
lots
come
of
out in the wash.
coincidences can happen. I mean, Garrett Kurtz was a serial killer tied to that same property.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he had nothing to do with it.
I don't think Ron Logan had it. When I talked to Ron, when I talked to Metzinger, Kay even, dude, Metzinger gave me the best interview out of all of them. Why he was literally, me and Doug, he had a shotgun. He was like, get off of my property. I had to fight him to get this interview. And then he broke down. And that was the one what he said, it is somebody within this town. It is someone who knows these woods, knows Logan's property, knew where to put him.
Yeah.
He even said in that interview, Logan's not going to walk back to the very back end of his property. He said Logan was drunk by 4 o'clock. He was like, I'm coming back from Arizona. He's like, my sons have been watching and I was like, well, how do we know it's not one of your sons or one of the sons? So he was like, my sons weren't even here that day. If you saw that interview, you remember that interview, that it was almost over, what was it? Over 120,000 views. Because that said so much. Metzinger called it out. It's someone in this community, someone who knows knew how to get in and get out. And to put it on Logan's property, where Logan ain't gonna walk back there. Logan don't even take care of his horse, is what he said. Funny thing is when I walked, and I know I was trespassing and all that, what did I walk into? A wild horse. Who was the one in the video, the live stream, running from this? I was scared to death. I thought the horse was going to pummel us. Metzinger was not lying. He knew. That interview is gold. And I said the only one I would give that interview over, because if I put it on YouTube right now, they would shut it down. I give it to Randy because they'd have the most mercy on him. I'm going to tell you right now. That interview said a lot.
I got to answer
good
this
night,
question.
y'all.
Good night, Hoosier. I got to answer this
Hoosier.
question. Everybody's wanting to know how Nick McClellan is related to the Patties. I'm going to break it down for you. Nick McClellan's brother was married to a woman named Terry. When they got divorced, this woman named Terry married Brad German. So that's how Nick McClellan's tied into the Patty family. His uncle married, or his uncle's ex-wife married Brad German. So that's how the connection is with the Patties when it comes to Nick McClellan. So is there anything else we need to discuss? Because we're going on an hour and a half, guys. Randy had to stand up his old bones.
Stretch, yeah, I got to stretch.
But there's still a lot of digging that still needs to be done on this case.
Well,
I
especially
didn't mean to rile up anybody. That's kind of what I do, though. You know that. Well, some of you do.
All right.
I just have strong opinions.
All right.
But I also will hear out anyone else's.
Betty Knorr just came into the chat and she wants to know about the bullet that was found between the girls. All right. Once again,
follow me on TikTok. It's Miss Fucking Wonderful, or the real Miss Fucking Wonderful on
there you go again.
YouTube or on Facebook.
Where's that tip jar again?
All right. The bullet.
These people. Thank you guys for having me on.
All right, girl.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Betty. The bullet situation. Everybody's wanting to know how they tied the bullet to Richard Allen's gun. Even though the bullet was never fired out of the gun, they could get striation marks off the casing of the bullet, because when you load a weapon into a chamber, it automatically scrapes the casing on the outside, so it leaves distinctive marks on the outside of the casing they could tie to one specific gun. And they did some testing with his gun and found that that bullet came from his gun.
I gotta go. My mom's calling in.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye. Yes, we have page 8, but it's heavily redacted.
We don't have page 8.
Somebody sent it to me just a few minutes ago. It's heavily redacted. I think it was Andrea. Let me find it. Where are you at? There it is.
There was a camera at a harvest store that caught him.
The hell? I don't know who that is, Stephanie.
All right. Can we talk about how long Richard Allen was at the scene? Meets the girls at 2:13 and then spotted walking away just before 4. And per his own admission, he says he was there from 1:30 to 3:30 or 1 to 3:30. Let me check.
I thought it was 12:30.
He was on the trail from 1:30 to 3:30. That's what he told investigators. He said he was walking around and he went on the bridge and was watching the fish.
In the wintertime. When do you see fish clearly in the wintertime? But still got a lot of digging to go, guys. I'm still trying to make connections with individuals, and I'm not having no luck as of yet. But I'm getting information that we're looking into, and that's all we can do right now. But we are working heavily on the Tabitha Shuck Rains case. We had an interview with an individual yesterday with some good information. So we're at an hour and 40 minutes live. I know Marv's not feeling well. Her old lady syndrome came out with a pulled muscle or something in her neck, back, whatever it is. And she looks like she's ready to fall out right there in front of the computer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to cut it short tonight, guys. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or anything, please email us at marvinfrank@gmail.com, and we will try to get to your questions as efficiently and quickly as possible. If we don't get to it in a timely manner, don't worry, we will get to it. But otherwise, we're going to end it for the night. So Mark can go lay down. And I need to put some food in my belly. So, and my girl next door is ordering us pizza. But
Yes, Mark. We're getting your chat messages. Thanks, Betsy.
Lexi, you can come back over now. We're getting ready to end. I kick her out as soon as we go live.
Why do you kick her out?
I don't expect her to sit there while I'm live by
Oh,
herself. I don't expect that from her. She said feel better soon, Marv.
yeah, thank you. We're gonna digest this information a little bit. Thursday, I have my son's band concert to go to. Friday, I think we're doing a members live. So maybe Saturday do another.
Yeah.
Unless
That-
something breaks tomorrow.
Right. That'll give us time to see if we can gather more information that might be useful or we can discuss.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, guys, I appreciate everybody coming out. We love y'all. If you guys are not a member of our channel, please go join. We got 3 different tiers that you can join through. We have super stickers and super chats. We also have a PayPal account if you guys are generous enough to donate to us. We can post that also.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on Cash App and Venmo because now all of a sudden PayPal's taking a percentage out of what people send you.
Oh Lord, don't tell me
And
that.
yes, we still have Discord. Let me get the link for you.
Thank you for the super sticker, Miss Mala.
Oh,
So if there's any more questions or anything,
well,
we're
let me
here.
get the Discord here.
Okay.
Oh, now I'm
Yes.
gonna get the hiccups.
Andrea already put it in.
Awesome.
This is the Discord, guys. If you guys want to join our Discord, up on the screen.
Thank you, Miss Mula. We appreciate it.
And Andrea, I'm going to call the post office as soon as I get off here and find out where my package is at from you, because I seen what you sent me and it shows it was delivered this morning at 11:30 and it was not here. So, and there has
Helen
been.
County, can you please email us this case information?
Who's this? Billy Myers. Hold on a second. Hold on, buddy. Hold on.
Lexi must be there. Thank you, Andrea. Thanks, everybody. I hope to feel better here soon. I just moved the wrong way, and sometimes you just twist things the wrong way, and it'll get you.
Blade's girlfriend just got here.
Yeah, I heard.
He goes nuts when she gets here. But yeah, that'll give us the rest of the week to see if we can conjure up some more information. Did you order a pizza yet, babe? No? Okay. All right, guys. Well, going on an hour and 45 minutes. We're going to get out of here. Andrea, yeah, I'm going to call the post office as soon as I get off here and find out where my package is, because it shows it was delivered and I never got it. So, but we've been having problems here for the last couple of years with the apartments I live with, that the mail carrier is putting mail in wrong mailboxes. So hopefully that's not the case. Derek showed up to pick up the girls somewhere between 3 and 3:30. It was like 3:15 or something.
3:15. More about between 3 and 3:15.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 cut. It's my back. Yeah, muscle spasms.
So
I'm sitting on ice.
Appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. You know, we'll be back. Love every and each one of you guys. You guys, like I said, have any questions or anything, feel free to email us. Some of you have got our personal numbers. You can get in contact with us. So, in saying, you know what time it is. Peace out. One love, guys.
Love.
Good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.